It's Thursday, February 20th, 2020. I'm Yael Levy, and these are the Cryptosphere's top stories for the day. Bitcoin plunges sharply, dropping below the key $10,000 mark again. A New York judge extends emergency restraining order on Telegram's token launch. And later, what Warren Buffett said about Bitcoin, brought to us by an animated lion. Yes, indeed. A bad day for the crypto markets after Bitcoin plunged nearly $1,000 over the course of an hour, bringing the top cryptocurrency into the $9,500 range, a steep drop from weekly highs. The altcoins market followed Bitcoin into the red, reversing the developing trend of recent weeks. BLOCKTV technical analyst Joe Saz offered his take on the state of the market.
In our run-ups, we did create some beautiful moves into 10K, but you can see these pockets we created where sellers started to control the territory. And especially near the tops and the local tops, I think bulls had been overextended for a little while. Obviously, I'm not happy to report on that, but we came down, hit a 94 and change low. Now, one thing I did want to note as well, in this one candle downside move, we had, I think it was about, I'm trying to just, 2.37 move down with 96 million in short and longs liquidated, okay? Now, we fast forward over here, between these next couple candles, we have only 10 mil. Here's the 107 mil. So we probably have around 110 mil or so. So between these two downside moves, we're talking 200 million long liquidations. It's massive. So we still had, wild bullish activity going on in the market. But this entire time that we were doing this, what I believe to be a dead cat bounce, we were moving up into resistance with absolutely no support along the way. A very small pocket of support in the 1% band here, which created a short-term low. And then, we just moved into a space that bulls were just couldn't hold. They were clearly exhausted. Sellers pretty much had constant control of what I would consider the buyer bedrock inversely, if buyers had this 5% band. But here we go, falling off a cliff.
After 2.5 hours, New York federal judge Kevin Castell said yesterday that he would extend the restraining order blocking Telegram's token issuance. Telegram's lawyers agreed to refrain from distributing their Gram tokens pending the court's final ruling on the SEC's request for an injunction. Telegram seeks a ruling that the token sale of its Gram should be allowed to move forward, while the SEC, of course, wants to further block the messaging giant's $1.7 billion project. Reporting for BLOCKTV, here's Desiree Campbell.
I'm here at the NY Southern District Court in NYC, where there was a 2.5-hour hearing done by Judge Kevin Castell concerning the Telegram versus SEC case. All that was decided today was that the preliminary injunction would be upheld that the SEC had ordered against Telegram that made them decide to not go ahead and issue the Telegram Open Network, the blockchain, and release the Gram tokens to the initial investors. The arguments heard today from both sides took about 2 hours to complete. First, the SEC went ahead and claimed that Telegram is actually a startup company that did have a security offering to the initial investors, and then the secondary purchasers on a secondary market that there are rumors that it exists. That is the initial purchasers hoping to raise profit by dumping their tokens onto the public at large, whereas whereas Telegram is saying that what they have with the grams for the open network on the blockchain, that actually is a decentralized network that they will not be giving sufficient managerial effort to under the Howey test.
I'm joined in studio by senior BLOCKTV correspondent Usher Westrop-Evans. Usher, no ruling yet, but both sides seem to be pleased about this.
Yeah, in some ways, and really this is the thing, with no ruling laid down clearly by Judge Castell there in the case, there's been a lot of room for interpretation, both obviously between Telegram and the SEC, but also more importantly in the crypto media as a whole, and all media interested in this. Notable examples, we look at CoinDesk penned an article with the headline, US court tells Telegram and SEC to focus on economic realities of token sale. Now, they really focused on that comment made by Judge Castell, saying that this is an economic reality, there's an inevitability argument, and sort of seemed to give credence to Telegram's arguments in the case, really indicating that they seem to come out the winner in the case. In stark contrast, we turn to Decrypt, who focused a lot more on, I guess, the Castell's comments on the Howey test, referencing how he mentioned the age of the Howey test, about 70 years that this test has been in existence, and that was a significant reality compared to the just 12 years of digital currency's existence. The lawyer they interviewed in that piece said that the fact that Castell granted emergency restraining orders signals that he believes the SEC position has merit and is likely to succeed. So they're really implying that the SEC came out the winner in this case. Either way,
it's interesting because I mean I'm not going to say that out loud, but the affiliation of Decrypt with some other companies, maybe leading that coverage. But yes, go ahead.
Yes, regardless. I mean, the point is that there's no clear, definitive, answer here for anyone to pin down on. Speculation running wild and rampant, and likely will do until we get much closer to that April 30 mark, and we either have a ruling from the court or Telegram has to decide whether or not to go live. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. For now, it's just rumors and speculation.
No, fascinating in that respect. But the key factor for Telegram was also that the judge acknowledged Telegram's commitment to its investors to launch the platform by April 30th, indicating that the ruling would be handed down before that. How important is that for the company and more so for their investors?
I think very important, Yael. I mean, they really have that contractual deadline, that sunset clause that would allow investors to pull out and take out considerable amounts of the initial investment back in, the principal capital they put in. That could be devastating to the company and really would undercut and undermine the entire project, which they claim, Telegram that is ready to launch. The second a ruling is laid down, it's all ready to go, finely tuned, a well-oiled machine. So this is very important for Telegram, at least in the sense that they will have clarity before that April 30 mark, at least according to the judge now. So I think that's an important step that the court recognizing this is important, and for a business perspective, they need to know either way before that key date.
Asha Westerb-Evans, thank you for this report.
My pleasure.
And now moving along, as we move along, staying though with regulation, but in a different corner of the world. Israel's Attorney General, Avichai Mandelblit, stated yesterday that banks could no longer deny services to firms involved with cryptocurrencies. During 2019, a number of Israeli banks froze the accounts of customers receiving transfers derived from crypto. The Attorney General said that instead of a blanket ban, banks must now closely examine each case for indicators of money laundering risks or other illicit financial practices. Jaguar Advagal, head of JAG Lawyers, who represented clients banned by the banks, was pleased with the statement. Here's what she had to say.
Regulators' opinion is a blessing, in my opinion, because it's taken them over a year to get that, and it actually repeats the law, which is exactly what I've always claimed in the cases I represented Israeli courts of my clients, by which Israeli banks have to receive those funds, the funds which are crypto originated. Basically, they don't have any discretion compared to other banking systems in the world, which might have a more of a capitalistic point of view. Then they can manage those risks and they can avoid receiving those funds. However, Israeli banks do not have that discretion. By law, they have to give financial services and banking services to customers, as long as they don't prove that the risks of AML and terror financing actually exist. And in the cases of my clients, they don't. They are law-abiding and tax-willing to pay customers, and they have the right to receive those banking services.
Big news for Coinbase this week, as the San Francisco-based exchange was accepted as a Visa principal member. Principal members of Visa are financial institutions who are authorized to issue debit cards. Following the upgraded status, Coinbase could now potentially issue cards to other crypto companies. Coinbase already has its Visa-based debit card, Coinbase Card, that allows customers residing in the European Union or European Community to spend multiple cryptocurrencies. And to quote them, Visa membership will enable us to further improve the customer experience, making it easier to spend cryptocurrency in everyday situation, according to a Coinbase statement. And it's time for Troll of the Day. There are simply no words to describe this next video, so who other than Zaki Hennessy with the job of presenting it. Zaki, please take it away.
Hey, Al. So the big lunch between Warren Buffett and the Tron CEO, Justin Sun, finally happened, and many of us were left wanting a breakdown of the things discussed at the meal. Now, luckily, Tron just released a video that summed up the events. I didn't pre-watch it, but I'm sure that there's going to be some good info in there.
During the Warren Buffett charity dinner, a lot of important topics were discussed amongst Justin Sun, his guests, and Mr. Buffett himself. Today, we'll be focusing on blockchain and Bitcoin.
Did Did you get, was that a cartoon lion? I think there might have been a mistake. I saw a cartoon lion. Motherfucker spent $4.6 million to set up this meal, and he gives the breakdown with a cartoon lion. But don't worry, if all this Bitcoin shit is too technical for you, there's still a reason to keep watching.
Next time we'll be taking a look at. See you then. Peace.
The cartoon lion now wants to discuss Warren Buffett's views on family and marriage. I am also really excited for the next entry in this in-depth series. Why don't mommy and daddy talk to each other anymore? With Warren Buffett. That's gonna be a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, the cartoon lion has defeated me. I am no longer able to carry on. Goodbye.
Thank you, Zachy Hennessy, and yes, everything that he said. That was Around the Block for today. Thank you for watching. For more blockchain, tech, cryptocurrency, no lions news, visit us at blocktv.com.
For more news and updates, follow us on Twitter.